Amigos de Reactor 105, estamos aquí en cabina con Water for Your Eyes. Guys, welcome again to Mexico City. Thank you so much. Please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Rachel.
I'm Nate.
Or wait, no, Hola, me llamo Rachel.
Nice.
There we go.
Hola, me llamo Nate.
Thank you so much for coming again, guys. The first experience, like opening from Interpol in one of the biggest venues in Mexico. I mean, the biggest venue in Mexico City. So I'm truly believe, not for being Mexican, but I believe that all the bands that came to play to Mexico inspired in some way, like the energy, the crowd, the craziness, maybe. So in this short period of time, do you have like experienced some kind of new vibe or new wave of creating music or creating in general on your thoughts and your feelings or working on that?
It definitely, I mean, that show was such a wild experience that having that under our belt kind of gave us a level of confidence that we maybe didn't quite have before. I mean, it was definitely a super energizing experience.
And I will make a quick translation. Sí, que fue una experiencia enorme. La primera vez que vinieron le pregunté que cómo se sintieron con la experiencia. Sí, que pues obviamente te nutre y que es un partaguas, un show tan grande como el que acaba de suceder, ¿no?
Something that we like a lot on this program is that Federico and myself we are musicians, so we like to understand a little bit about the process of making music of the bands. So can you guys tell me how is creating music from the part of writing it to the studio part?
I mean, it usually starts in a very experimental form using often like serialism and microtonalism, and then once there are elements of that you identify as good, then the next step is kind of figuring out how to incorporate those ideas into a pop structure. And I pretty much just try and build the best sandbox I can for Rachel to play in.
Yeah, I feel like the writing and studio process for Nate are the same thing, because like the songs are finished by the time I write the lyrics, and it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like, I guess, a sandbox.
Yeah, there's no recording studio, it's just my bedroom.
Pues justamente le estamos preguntando que cuál es el proceso de creación de una canción, y pues empieza desde una manera experimental con los microtonos y le entregan como una caja de arena, ¿no? Así libertad total a Rachel para que escriba encima las letras y termina una pieza. Y no hay estudio, es solo su habitación.
I recently read that you work maybe at the same time between the brand new EP and the cover releases. So it's difficult to change the way of working between the covers and your own music.
It's very different tasks, you know. It's like if writing our own music is like playing chess, then doing covers is like playing Candyland or something. You know, it's technically kind of the same thing, but it's also so different that it's kind of a nice break. It's not really. It's just a fundamentally different activity.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, maybe I'm only speaking for myself here, but I feel like it's a lot easier to do the covers because the songs are written.
Yeah. It's already there. Yeah.
It's like playing chess on an easy mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just already been
I mean,
done
I guess
for you.
it's different in that, like, you have to figure out how to do the thing that somebody else did without having the same talents and skills. At least with singing, it's like funny to cover musicians who have like vocal ranges that I just like don't have. But I love doing karaoke, and I don't care that I can't sing. I just like to sing, so it's fun.
And it's great for me because it helps me practice just making tracks and trying to recreate things, so it all feels productive.
Eh, Grabaron su EP y un disco de covers al mismo tiempo, que a veces son como misma misión pero diferente, como jugar ajedrez. Y dicen que para Rachel, que para ella es más fácil porque ya está escrito,
Claro.
pero que a veces la parte musical sí tiene un challenge diferente para pues, ponerle su propio sello, ¿no?
Así es. Guys, I think something that it's pretty remarkable about this project it's the visual part, like the covers of the albums and all that stuff. It's something that I like a lot. So, can you give me like a little bit about the process of creating the covers of the albums and how you guys create the visual part of this project?
Yeah, so this was actually the first time that I guess second time that we worked with like an artist. And so this one was really fun because I made like a PowerPoint of like what I wanted. And then we went to a mall in New Jersey, like a crazy mall. I feel like that mall, like it has a mountain that you can ski. It has like
Really?
roller coasters. It's called the American Dream.
I know it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's pretty dark, in that it's just kind of the pinnacle of American consumerism. But I guess that was also kind of what the album was about. So of course we were at the mall. But yeah, we just like went. I really was influenced by the film Paris, Texas. I feel like
Ooh,
that
great
film,
film.
yeah, just like visually, I feel like represents this like idea of America as this kind of vast, bleak place where you kind of get lost. And like, I mean, the cinematography of that film is just like so amazing. And so we went with my friend and we just took a bunch of reference photos. And the other idea was that we wanted it to be like a Western movie poster, like an old timey Western film movie poster. And I had been following this one artist for years. And so we just asked her and we sent her the photos. And then she made the most like amazing cover art.
We love that.
It's like different phases of American culture, like the post-capitalism with the mountain, the Western, and it's cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna translate this. Le estaba preguntando un poquito sobre el arte que trae detrás las portadas. Y justo me estaban contando que en un centro comercial en New Jersey, que es gigantesco y que tiene una montaña y que tiene
Una montaña para esquiar.
una montaña para esquiar, pues se inspira mucho en eso y entre esa parte y la película de Paris, Texas, como que hicieron un PowerPoint con ciertas inspiraciones.
Pinterest dashboards.
y que trabajando con artistas salió algo bien bonito.
It's funny because like as a musicians do, it's always like asking this question like from your bedroom, like creating music. What's the difference between Water from Your Eyes on the studio and in a live act?
It's funny because it's the studio recordings, it's so focused on sound design that we can't really perform live without the actual sounds from the album.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels underwhelming to just have, if you're going to use backing tracks, then if the live show just sounds exactly like the album, then that can be kind of boring. So we just make a bunch of noise and add guitars on top of it and try to make it a much more aggressive presentation of the same material. Because I've always had a deep appreciation for bands who have the albums and the live performances and they're the same songs, but the songs are kind of tuned to each medium. Like I think like Kid A era Radiohead was the first time that like watching live footage of them at that time, that was like definitely had a big impact on me when I was a kid.
And it's funny because Radiohead and in this case the Q-Day album, it's like very different than a live show. It's like the same bass, like the sequences, maybe the bass line, but it's always changing, always changing. And I believe that maybe Water from Your Eyes is like always evolving in a live show. That's pretty cool. Eh, Dicen que, pues, justo son partes diferentes, el estudio y el en vivo de Water from Your Eyes, en el cual, pues, sí usan base de lo que graban, pero tratan de llevarlo más agresivo, guitarrazo y eso, para que no suene aburrido cuando estén tocando en vivo.
Yeah. So now that we were talking a little bit about this movie and other types of arts, I would like to ask you guys if you take inspiration from other pieces of media. It not necessarily music. It could be movies. It could be series. It could be video games even. Wherever you guys, I don't know if you take inspiration from other places.
For me, it's very much mid 20th century painters. Trying to learn about certain painters and take their creative approach and workflow and applying it to music.
Yeah.
For the album Everyone's Crushed, I would say that Francis Bacon was a bigger
nice.
influence than any music was. The whole idea of starting something without any real intention of what it's going to be, and you kind of just create stuff until something begins to speak to you and a figure kind of like emerges from the chaos.
Yeah.
So I'd say in most ways, like, paintings probably have a bigger impact on how this band makes music than music does, at least for this album.
You?
Well, I studied film and television production. Like, that's kind of my. I mean, like, I love music. I mean, I'm like, yeah, I'm here, but I actually really love movies. So I feel like I feel like everything I do is pretty informed, I guess, by the filmmaking process and by storytelling in a visual way, which I guess doesn't really apply to the writing that much of lyrics, but definitely applies to how I view the album as not just, I guess, a presentation of music, but ultimately a visual, there's a whole visual side attached with album artwork and music videos and press photos, and that the albums aren't just, I guess, the record itself, but rather a full presentation of a idea that includes, I guess,